shorter timescales, decadal timescales, things, at least in the Pacific Northwest, associated with things like El Niños or La Niñas, which can elevate or draw down the regional eustatic sea level pattern. I'm showing here sort of a draft eustatic sea level signal for the inland waters of the Pacific Northwest. And you can see there's a lot of bumps and wiggles, and so those are important in terms of community planning, but we haven't really figured out a good way to incorporate those into projections in a meaningful way. So that's and that's been brought up as a shortcoming by, for example, people in our working group. So how do we do this? That's kind of something that I'm trying to wrap my brain around currently. Would love to hear if there's any clever ideas out there. So that is all that I had for today. A couple of takeaways. My assessment is that doing these assessments at the community scale seems to be more effective than international, national, or even these regional assessments at motivating local planning and action. And these community scale assessments also address local variability, thereby providing the most locally relevant information, something that's going to really grab people in the community, get them thinking, because they perceive that it's kind of the best and most applicable information out there. The framework here is straightforward. I mentioned that NOAA guidance document, publicly available. It's fantastic. But identifying, accessing, and justifying the use of particular data sources can be complex. So that's something that should be prepared for and time allowed for in a assessment process. And then lots more to do to provide really useful and credible information to communities, remove unknowns, improve strategies for communicating sea level rise. In our case, we're really struggling with how to communicate. Words to use associated with probabilities, for example, is something we've really been struggling with. As we improve that, I would anticipate that we would get better outcomes in terms of improved long-term resilience for coastal communities.